Hello, everyone. My name is Heidi, and this is Andreas from Hyperspace Connection.
Hey.
Today, we're going to talk about how someone can contract a spiritual possession or an attachment.
What can you say about that?
Well, the majority of people throughout their life has had at least one attachment. And it could be many more than that.
According to research that has been done the
Mm-hmm.
last 30, 40 years in this field. So you want to talk about how can somebody actually contract an attachment or being possessed by a foreign energy, if you want to call it that way, or an entity.
Well, there can be a few different ways, and one of the main ways of actually contracting this specific entity or attachment is through a lower vibration frequency. And what we mean by that is when you feel an emotional state very low, where it has to do with traumas maybe you've went through. There might be some anger, numbness going on. Maybe you can't feel, which is the lowest frequency. And when that is the case, a lot of times these earthbound attachments or spirits or energies will actually, it's easier for them to attach to your energy field. So that is one way that can happen.
So when that happens, a client or a person can actually feel it as either around them at a certain position or inside the body. Very often stomach area, sexual organs, all the way up chest, and then
into the
throat
head,
and head.
mind.
That's mostly. Some are as well in the extremities. So you said lower frequency. Okay, basically you talk about emotional state.
Emotional states is very, yes.
Explain that a little bit.
So an emotional state. So if you're feeling very sad, numb, the highest frequency that a person can actually feel or go through is love, gratitude,
joy, all
joy,
that.
yes. But when we go through certain situations in our life, and they can be pretty devastating for some traumas in our life, that's when our frequency is pretty low. And these energies that are, without seeing with the human eye, can feel that, they can sense that, and it's almost like it feeds them. We feed their energy through that. It's very important to understand this. Going out throughout your life is to make sure that when you do feel these emotions, you get some type of therapy or help to help you understand maybe why you're feeling the way you are. Otherwise, if these specific spirit attachments start to manifest over time, and it can be more than one, it's almost like they can be stacked and keep on stacking.
Like layers?
Layers of them. If that happens, it can form into more of a possession. And a possession is what you would call a demonic force, malevolent being that takes control over everything within your body.
Basically overtaking
senses, mind, physical, almost as though you're not even in your body anymore.
And that reminds us a little bit about those movies, the movies we saw many years back, The Exorcism.
Yes.
And that's basically fact. That cases like that could be as intense as what you can see in that movie or in those movies. Okay, going back to how you can contract an attachment, it could be as well the emotional state, as we just said.
Yes.
But different traumas. One of the common traumas where people actually become attached is sexual abuse. That's one of them. Do you have any other to add right now?
Basically, sexual abuse, physical abuse, any type of mental abuse. Sometimes most of the time, mental abuse
Mm-hmm.
is more damaging than physical abuse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and also, whoever's doing the abuse probably has attachments.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably somehow got attachments. So sometimes it can be an ancestral thing as well.
Like generations back, like even
Absolutely.
curses back in the past, curses that are
Yes.
said on.
Rituals they did
Yes.
back in the long
Mm-hmm.
years
Mm-hmm.
ago. And so, yes. Mhm.
So that means, in order to get an attachment or being possessed, maybe later on in a severe way, something with you has to be weak, and that weakness as well goes back again to your protection shield, a protection shield out of light, love, joy, high frequency.
Yes.
So that's somewhere damaged. Then,
absolutely. And here's another example that I just thought of too. If you think of a haunted house, okay,
Mm-hmm.
people will go and investigate these, and when you're an investigator, you have to be extremely careful who goes through these haunted houses.
Mm.
Because if you're having someone that comes in that has maybe a lot of issues going on in their life, or they have a lot of fear, or they're very suppressed in their
Mm-hmm.
emotions, that is a breeding area for attachments.
So basically, investigators or therapists, they have to be as well very centered. They have to be
Absolutely.
healthy.
So it is
Not
very
everybody just can do that, even if you're
right.
interested in
And
it.
they talk about having these tours through these haunted places, and it's so extremely important to make sure that you're centered. So, if you're going through a lot in your life, or you went through something
Mm-hmm.
traumatic recently, and that it's not a good thing, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. Well, then you see, maybe think about yourself. Be honest with yourself. There's nothing bad about having attachments. Why that actually is really happening with us as humans, I think that's another story, that this is even possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to go into that right now. But think about you. How is your emotional state often? And what are your thoughts going through your mind? You maybe sometimes have thoughts that you feel like, that's not me. I would never think about like that. Why would
Mm-hmm.
I have a thought of maybe hurting somebody, or doing hurt to myself?
Yes.
Why do I act in certain moments towards somebody I love? Maybe you are so together with somebody, and then you say bad things, or you actually become violent. That not seldom is influence that you basically have, and you are not even aware of it. Fortunately, there is a solution, and this is spirit releasement therapy that can be done through us and many other people that know what they do. Well, thank you very much for your explanation.
Thank you.
Don't forget to watch our other videos about those topics. I think these are very important topics, especially in those times right now when we see outside what's going on with our world. There is no coincidence that there is some confusion, a lot of lower emotional states in many
Right now,
people,
yeah,
violence.
and more thoughts going through the mind
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. So be careful out there. Check out our other videos, and thank you very much for watching today. Bye.
Goodbye.